Okay, my friends, here it is. The Saturday morning live stream at the mobile Garden Like a Viking headquarters here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We are doing the fall garden consultation trip. And yes, signal lost. That's right. We are at a remote location. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, how about now? Let me know. And I'm just going to not touch anything, okay? How's this sound check? Okay.
Garlic.
How about that? Let me know. Sounds back. Okay, Mark Bass. Yes, the prodigal gardener. Yes, Donald Hughes. Hello, Nemesis. Yes, hello, my friends. Sylvia Flores. Yes, hello. We had a great garden consultation the other day. Thank you. Nice to talk with you, meet you. Mississippi Soldier 369. Good to see you here. Teats Treats. Yes, of course. Teats Treats. My friend, you told me that Cape Sundew was frost in its natural environment. It frosted. That's what I remember you telling me, at least. But there was it got down to like maybe 32 exactly, and it was struggling. And so I looked it up and was like, no, it can't take a frost, any frost. And so I brought it inside. I think it's fine. Everything is fine. But I was really not wanting that thing to be dead. Yeah? Yes, I'm going to bring it inside. Yes, of course. I'm going to bring it inside. AK Froggy, good morning from Alaska. Yes, I bet it's cold there already, huh? Yes, definitely. Pop Perm says, at work, I'm known for being weird because I chew raw garlic cloves because it's healthy. So this sound check hits home. Definitely. That is the only way to test garlic, in my opinion. So when I'm trying new garlic varieties, we eat it raw. You want to eat it raw because that's the only way that you can really tell the actual properties of the garlic and not influenced by, oh, maybe I added a little bit too much salt one time, a little bit not enough salt the other time, so that's how I like to do it. Now, we are going to talk about the garlic because we stopped at the Urban Farmer. Look at all this seed garlic. We stopped at the Urban Farmer to and that's in Westfield, Indiana, outside of Indianapolis. And we got like 10 pounds of seed garlic and two different kinds, Chesnock Red and Turkish Red. And we tried them there in the store raw. And it's going to be very good. The Chesnock Red, I remember growing that one. And it's pretty good, but its storage life is supposedly really good. Now, the lady there at the Urban Farmer Seed Company, not the podcast, but the Urban Farmer Seed Company, she said that the Chesnock Red is the one that, of all the different kinds that she's seen, that it stores the longest. It stays good, it stays solid the longest of all of them, is what she said. And she would know because it's like a little warehouse where they're just like processing all this stuff, packaging it out and everything. They have a retail store, but it's mostly about online sales. And so, but we did end up getting some. And so she said the Chesnock Red is the one that will store the longest. And the cloves are real nice and pleasant. The cloves are nice and pleasant. Now, the Turkish Red the bulbs were bigger and easier to peel and also will store real nice. So we went ahead. So this family here, they are doing if you've been following along, then you know that we have been doing consulting trips down here, getting their garden whipped into shape, getting the food producing thing. The guy here, who's my friend now, wants to learn about all of it. So it's like a university for him in a way. And so we come down here like twice a year now. And this year we brought bunch of garlic because the garlic, if you do it right and you do enough of it, then you only have to buy it once and you only have to plant it once because you will plant the following year's, you'll plant the stock from last year So of seed garlic, if any of you guys know how much garlic, I mean, this is going to do a lot. This is a lot of seed garlic right here. There's going to be, short of some catastrophe happening, this is going to be a lifetime supply, meaning that you'll be able to grow plenty to use and then plant again. Where I fall into issues a lot is that I will grow a lot and then eat all of it, because I just want to eat it. Yeah. So that's what happens. Okay. The prodigal gardener says, yep, I haven't had to buy seed garlic in years. Yes, that's true. Me too. Although last year you guys sent me a bunch of garlic, which is amazing. So thank you very much. Nancy Dewald, $10. Thank you, my friend. No question in there. Just a nice contribution via CashApp. Thank you very much. I appreciate the contribution. Big time. And, it looks like I got an email from Enoch at the Urban Gardener podcast. Says, hey, I just want to let you know I've confirmed with Mark from Self-Sufficient Me for our roundtable on November 3rd. The show will start at 12:30 Pacific time, and I will have you two on at about 1 Pacific time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here's the YouTube link. Okay, great. Well, that's going to be cool. And here is if you guys don't know who we're talking about, then this is Self-Sufficient Me. This is what it's going to look like. So I guess we're both going to be on the podcast, and we're going to be talking. So that's going to be cool. Mark from Self-Sufficient Me is one of the OGs in this game. And even though his information doesn't necessarily apply that so much to my zone, to most of our zones, it doesn't matter. It's his philosophy, his approach towards things, his attitude towards things. That's going to be a very good podcast, no doubt. What are some things, okay, for you guys watching this or watching after the fact, what are some things that you want me to ask Mark? Because I feel like I just want to interview Mark. I don't need to even talk, really, because I want to know from Mark, So what are some things you want me to ask him, or what are some things you want me to, I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to be moderated or what's going to be happening or anything, but what are some things you would like to see from this interaction? Yeah. I'm just showing up. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm willing to do it for sure. So we will see. So let me know if there's some things that you want to me to ask him or us to focus on or something. Big Will Dog says, did you catch the email I sent? I'll have to go through my emails, but yes. Okay, I see it here. I haven't read it. So I see it here. So I will look through that. Yes. Gregory Day, $30. Thank you very much, my friend, via PayPal. Thank you for the tip. And okay. Note from Greg. Convo on Discord about using canola in wetting agent, because a lot of canola is GMO, which means probably heavily sprayed. Do you have any thoughts or alternatives? Okay, so let's see here. So for the wetting agent, the reason that they use the canola oil is because it's cheap, and according to J. Dom, it is the most effective as far as its wetting capabilities. Now, although you can use any oil, it will get a much more expensive though, yes, but you will. Like if you want to use coconut oil or olive oil or something like that, it will quickly get very expensive. And according to J. Dom, it's not quite as the sticking power is not quite the same. Now, I used one other kind of oil one time. I think it was olive, and I didn't really notice a difference, except for the price was way, way more. So, yeah. I mean, I already made a huge batch with the canola oil, and so I can't really, I have like 10 gallons of it left, and I'm barely using it at all anymore. I mean, it's there if I need it. That's what's important. It's there if I need it, but I've gotten away from the, sort of applying it all the time along with everything and stuff like that. The sort of how J. Dom sort of emphasizes using it, like with everything, and I just don't do that anymore. And so only if totally necessary do I use the wetting agent, and only as a pesticide. I don't use it to help things stick to the leaves because the aerated compost teas have already enough bacterial action in them that they're very sticky. And so everything works just fine. Again, and I noticed because for a couple of years, I like to push things a lot. I like to push things and to find out where the limits and the boundaries are and to find out what the effect of things really is. And so for a few years, I was using it, sort of how J Dom system promotes. It's like every time you apply something, you're applying JWA and the wetting agent, and so it's the foundation of all the pesticides. It helps the fertilizers stick to the leaves, all that stuff. And it just gummed everything up. Everything just seemed to kind of get gummed up. Like the leaves of the plants just kind of, they couldn't, I felt like I was just intuitively feeling like they couldn't breathe, like that. And I was seeing on them, the plants have these coatings for a reason. They really do, for a reason. And with the wetting agent, it just kind of strips it away. It's almost like if you have Castile soap or something, you don't need to use soap on your whole body every day. Your underarms, and places, but like your whole arms and your chest and your body every day is not necessary because it strips all the oils away from your body, which are natural and healthy for the skin. And I began to feel like it was the same with the plants. Like the plants have these things, of course, for a reason. So I didn't want to strip them away with the wetting agent all the time. So the past handful of years, or past couple of years at least, I only use the wetting agent if I have to. And that's only if there is a pest issue, and it was cabbage moths, but now the cabbage worms, I just use BT because that eliminates them 100%. And I don't add the wetting agent with it. I just use the BT, spray it a couple days apart, 2 or 3 sprays, and that's it. They're wiped out. Now, aphids, though, definitely. If I'm making the slug solution, or the aphids, the ultimate slug solution, the wetting agent is crucial. I mean, it's the foundation, along with the sodium hydroxide. Yes. So there's my rant about that. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of you guys giving Mark some love. Yes, definitely. Just Me, yes, says Self-Sufficient Me is where I first heard about the roselle. Ah, yes. We still need to try some of that out there. Make some tea out of that. Do you guys have experience with a plant called roselle? Roselle? Yes, thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. I appreciate that. We want to grow the tribe for sure, so we can get a bigger knowledge base to draw from. Guys, did you see my last short, the shorts video? If you haven't, watch it. Okay, watch it. Because I'm as a content creator, I'm really up on like the new sort of technology. I'm constantly like researching and watching and things, the latest type of technology as far as AI and content creation and all of that. And it is mind blowing the speed at which AI is being rolled out. And so it is, if you watch that last shorts video that I made, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Okay. What are your thoughts on that? So already the AI, it's just unbelievable. Now, I mean, 2 days ago when I made that short, that was the first day that feature was available, but it's only going to increase from there. It's going to get to the point where you can just click automated responses, just check the box, and it'll just automatically respond. I mean, I'm sure it will be there in no time, and you'll just let the AI respond to the people because it's already. I've already been training it, through because the AI now that the program has been released, now the AI went through all the comments I ever read, or every single comment on my channel, and the question and the response, it analyzed it all in the blink of an eye. Within probably seconds, it analyzed it all. So now it can speak exactly like me. It is insane. Now it's gotten even better in the past couple days. So you click on it and it even says my friends now. I mean, it talks just like me and it gives legitimate answers that make sense. It's just crazy how fast it's all changing. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, does that, it will make things quicker and more efficient, but I just am not about it. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like, okay, well, what's the point then? What's even the point of having a channel or of interacting with anybody? Because it'll all just, you know, yeah, it goes clap. Okay, my friends. Yeah, I know. Melanie Dennis says, as of right now, it's 50-50 hit or miss with AI. Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, right now is the worst this technology will ever be. It will only improve from here dramatically, because it's only a few months ago that it started becoming a reality for all of us, and the chat GPT and all that stuff. But it's coming so fast. It's so fast. Okay. Yeah, Darth X, that's a great question. How do we protect ourselves from AI's fakeness? Look, I can tell because I'm up on this, and I'm just my feelers that soon, already pretty much, there will be people that can just prompt AI, make me a video make me a engaging video about how to make compost tea, and make it so that the audience will watch to the very end, and prompt it like that, boom, and automatically it will create this for you, and it will generate the images, and it will be good enough. It won't feel human, that's for sure, but it will be good enough for most people. They'll just, oh, okay, it'll be brief. You can prompt it, be brief, show me how to make this aerated compost tea in a 6-minute video. There we go, with music, and it will create it all immediately. And that will be the content, and people will have whole YouTube channels making. It's just going to be insane, because the AI, we've already been training it for years, and so it already knows what is going to be the most engaging. So I'm already seeing that content creation, even for gardening and stuff, is going to be just totally compromised before long. You're not going to know what is real content, what is fake content. You have no idea. So, yes, Alex, I know that ChatGPT has been out for way longer than a couple months, but I'm saying that the latest version of it, how they just released the latest version, how the versions, how they keep improving just like that. It's really insane. And as far as the content creation goes, which is what I'm concerned about, it hasn't been on the scene really in a legitimate way until now. So it's going to get better and better with it. And then what? Just anybody can make any kind of, make me a video that's engaging, and it will know how to do all of that. So, yeah. Cowgirl in Arizona, very good. It is void of spirituality, and I wonder how much it is programming our brains to become addicted to the screen. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Teats Treats says, what's the shortest amount of time until I can use my JLF? Well, that depends. That's going to depend big time. Okay. Yes, I saw this. Teats Treats, $5. Thank you, my friend. I will get to your question. Pop Herm, $5. Thank you, my friend. Where are you at? Did you make it all the way to Florida? Are you still on the trip? Riding your bicycle from Pennsylvania to Florida. That's pretty incredible. Teats Treats, $5. Thank you, my friend. I'm starting JLF. I know I should cap it for a year. I will need to use some sooner. What's the minimum time until I can use it? Thanks for the Thrive channel. Oh, absolutely, my friend. Yes, you are welcome for that. Thank you for being a part of it. And the JLF. Now, what is the JLF made of? That's the question. What is the JLF made of? Let me know, because that will matter. Oops. That is going to matter, okay? So tell me what it's made of and how you made it. And then where is it at? I mean, is it in the sun? Where is it at? All right. Okay, but I want to get to some of you guys' responses, because I'm really interested to see what your thoughts on this are, and how much, because naturally I just want to resist using the AI as far as content creation goes. ChatGPT on your phone, asking it things, I can get down with that. I use it a lot. I definitely do. There's a time and place for it. It's just, the thing is, okay, so here's someone is saying, here, Fabrizio says, I'm thinking about having an old school house phone to liberate myself from the infotoxin industrial complex. Now, yes, that is a wonderful thought, and many people are doing that. But what we have to understand is that the people that adopt the new technology are going to be at a massive competitive advantage in every way, as far as economically goes. So much to the point that the people that choose not to use the technology and says, nope, I'm going to have a landline, I'm not going to embrace this technology, are just going to get left in the dust. They'll just be outcompeted in every platform, in every way, by this people that do adopt the new technology. So that might not mean that much for you. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but like some people will be like, well, I'm fine. You know, I'm 70 years old and I've got, you know, I'm fine not adopting the technology. And that's great. But you also have to understand the future and the speed at which things are coming. Yes. And that soon it's not going to be like that. You're not going to have an option. It'll be like choosing not to learn how to read. Imagine that. Nah, I don't want to get into books and waste my time in a classroom and stuff. So I'm just going to not choose how to read. Think of how far behind you would be. You know what I mean? You have to adopt the technology. So yeah, it's a lot to think about, especially as a content creator. Here we go. Taida says, I feel like channels like yours will become so much more valuable because we can trust you. You are real. I don't want advice from a robot. Exactly. That's my thought as well. But then you go and you look at some of these, like some of these channels people have started in Indonesia and stuff that are just fake videos, total BS videos, fake potato harvesting videos, carrot harvesting methods, fake. It's all, they planted it all in there, and I can tell. You know, it's all fake. Yet it's got 7 million views, and it's their channel's got 3 million subscribers, and they're making bank off of that, and they're thriving off of that fakeness. You know, so it's like, well, okay, I'm never gonna do anything like that, but it's gonna be filled with that kind of stuff, especially to the people like me that I learn everything from YouTube and the internet. If I need to know something, I can just go to the internet and learn it. So we'll get off the AI topic soon. I just want to really get a feel for what you guys are thinking. Mom Computer says, make the human experience obsolete and we will not be needed. Just another way to separate people and delete us. Podcasters will not be needed. Yeah, I know. So guys, somebody in the Discord chat posted they took one of my videos and fed it to this AI engine and said, make me a 10-minute podcast that explains the content of this video. That's all they did. And the AI made a podcast with 2 people having a conversation about the video, and it was almost perfect. It was almost perfect. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Go to the Discord chat and listen to it, okay? Now, I shouldn't even have told you it was AI because you wouldn't have known at first. It sounds just like real. Even the intonation, they stutter sometimes. They stumble across words. You wouldn't know if you didn't already know that these 2 voices were being used for AI. But you can click to other accents and everything. And they take my video and they summarize it in a discussion. And it's engaging and it's hits all the points. And I was listening to it thinking, whoa, that's like almost perfect. I mean, they're emphasizing all the right things. And they're not saying word for word what I'm saying, but almost just like that. So you guys need to go to the Discord chat and listen to that and tell me if it doesn't blow your mind. I mean, it does me because I was the guy that made the video. And so seeing that is like, whoa, that's how I know, man, things are changing rapidly. Okay. So, Big Will Dog, I'm not sure which thread it was. It was just like 2 days ago, though. So it was very, very recent. I'm not sure what thread it was. unfortunately. I'm not sure what thread it was. So, let's see. Renew. My volume is down in class. I cash app from Fard's daughter. Still waiting on order. I have $40 cash app. I sent several emails. To what? To what email? And have not received my order. When did you place the order? Well, I don't have it in front of me. I'll have to look. But all the orders are closed. We are totally sold out of all the onions. If you've already placed it and I didn't see it, when was it placed? If it was within the past handful of days, then I was busy and away from that because it's closed. All the orders are closed. But if you've already paid, then we'll send them. Yes. No problem. So if you've emailed me, send it to gardenlikeaviking at Gmail. So, yes, I know. Argo. Oh, I think it was you, wasn't it? Argo Bargle says the general thread. That's where it was. So guys, go there and listen to that. Okay. And, it's just wild. It's just wild. But there's going to be some people like us that prefer the organic experience, the actual experience. I don't know how you're going to be able to tell exactly that, but many people, especially this younger generation, they won't even care that it's, or even be able to tell the difference because they're so conditioned their whole life. They've been born into the digital age. So I know, country living. Are you real right now or AI? I know. It's already, I mean, this you can pretty much tell, but it's already almost to this point where you wouldn't be able to tell already. Okay, Andre Puska says, hi Nate, could I use white clover instead of the crimson clover as the green manure method? I found only white clover seeds. So you can use white clover as green manure. The issue is that there won't be the amount of biomass. The white clover doesn't get nearly as big. Crimson clover will get 2-3 feet tall. Mammoth red clover will get that tall easily. You got a lot more biomass there. But if that's all you can find is the white clover, then yes, it's much more low growing. It's going to get like 8 inches maximum, maybe more if it's really fertile soil. But that's the only issue. So plant it nice and thick, and it's better than nothing, definitely. But it's not as good as the bigger clovers. That's the issue. Because white clover, Dutch white clover, can be used as a sort of living mulch for certain plants. Yeah, Stephanie Stevens, I saw your short on this. The answers AI generated were too much. I know. And I wish I could show you guys some of the answers now. When you guys were commenting on that video, some of the things that it was saying were just totally mind-blowing to me that it was coming from an AI. Okay. Let's see here. Feature that just rolled out yesterday, as far as it will read the question on my YouTube channel. Yes. Well, I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to make this other because it shows you. Okay, look. Here's one of the responses. Okay, to that question or to that video that I posted, and see. So I'm going to read it to you. The video was AI's getting out of control. Okay, and then someone said AI is great in the beginning, although I never trusted it. Not far down the track, you'll realize it has to go blah. And so they comment about it. I never trusted it. And then the AI's response is this. The more we rely on AI, the more the AI will control us, ... And here's the other one. It's the beginning of a new era, and it's only going to get more radical. Those were the AI generated responses about the question about not trusting AI. So that kind of stuff, guys, we're at the ground floor of this. All right. This is a gardening community, and it's saturated now with AI. So it's pretty wild. All right. Yes, this is a good question. Papa McMuffin, with the ability to create content with just a prompt, how much content can be created in a short time? And in turn, how much would that devalue content? Quality of content and the payouts for creators. Exactly. It's like printing trillions of dollars into your money supply. It dilutes the whole thing. And each one becomes less, each dollar becomes less power. Yeah. And so I could see just being flooded with tons of content. Everyone's going to want to get up on this. Even people with no talent or no ability to speak with people and or none of that stuff. They're going to be making videos, just making thousands of dollars for a while in the beginning. You know, they will, having millions of stuff. So yes. VA Green. Absolutely. Did you catch the Joe Rogan show with Callie and Casey Means about the manipulation of the food supply? I think I put the link, a direct link to that podcast in this video description this week and last week, because everyone needs to see that. If you haven't seen that already, you need to watch it. Okay. And pay no mind that it gets a little bit political. Okay. Because he is of the opinion that a politician who's in office can save you from all of this, but it's so much greater than all of that. So it gets a little political, but regardless, left or right, I mean, I'm, like I've said before, nonpartisan completely. But if you, so just look past that though and see what they're talking about. See, see the truth behind it. It's amazing. Definitely the first hour and a half of it is really on point. And you can tell these people have been seeing this going on for so long, and now they finally got a voice, recently. And so they've got this thing they want to say. So Megan McGuire says, you getting property and teaching in a living classroom is priceless. AI cannot replace that. You are on the right path. Yes. Thank you, my friend. I'm glad to hear that. And that's the way I feel as well. That's why intuitively, that's the vision that's been coming to me. Get the class, have the class where people will come, because people will be hungry for that kind of thing. In a world where AI is dominating everything and everything's fake, they're going to want the human connection even more. They're going to want to come to the class and to feel the earth and to feel all these things, of course. So that's just, I think that's why that vision has been coming. Right. Melanie Davis. See, that's another thing. It blows my mind that so many people think that all this new technology is going to be free for everyone. We're all going to be able to cure cancer and we're going to go to Mars and it's going to be free for everyone. This technology. They've been watching too much Star Trek. Okay. That's not how it's going to be. It's going to be for them. It's going to be privatized completely for them, not for us. It's going to be, once it gets so powerful, it's going to be on the $2,000 a month subscription plan. And then you can use the ChatGPT 12 that can have an IQ of 400. But other than that, you're not going to be. So it's changing, guys. It's all changing so fast. Yes, Mom Computer, keep it human. Wow, Donald Hughes have still got white scallop squash. Now, tell me, honestly, Donald, did you get totally sick of the white scallop squash? Because that tends to happen after several years of growing them. I'm happy that I have one planting of them and they come on super strong for like 4 weeks, and you're eating them, maybe 5 weeks. You're eating them like constantly, every day, every couple days, frying them up and stuff. And then they go away for the rest of the year. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Because they're the kind of thing that you can't, for me, don't make yourself sick on them, because once you become sick on them, then you're not going to, it's like squash have that way of doing that. So the Tahitian squash, kind of made myself sick on them several years ago. So you kind of grow them in a little more moderation. That's why these butternuts or honey nut squash are really good. 1 or 2 plants produced about 25 of these this year. And they're small butternuts. I've told you all this, but they're really sweet and flavorful. Cut them in half, scoop out the seeds, a little bit of brown sugar and cinnamon and nutmeg, a little bit of coarse sea salt, cut side up and roast them. Super good, guys. But even that, you can't just be gorging yourself on that every week or every couple days or something. Take it slow. So, because once you make yourself actually like, once that feeling gets in there, that nauseating feeling of eating too much squash, it never actually leaves you. So for the rest of your life, then you'll dabble lightly in the squash, although you'll love it, but you just can't eat all that much. So that's my recommendation about that. So guys, look, here's something I got from good. Okay, Donald Hughes says, no, I love the white scallop squash. Almost sick of tomatoes and bacon sandwich. Yeah, well, I saw your tomato sandwiches on the Discord chat. Literally like a 2-inch thick slice of tomato with tiny little pieces of bread on it. It was like a little sandwich with your tomato. Here's another thing that I recently got. One of you guys recommended to me that to get these multiplying onions from this one company in Texas. So I got some multiplying onions, proper multipliers, old school. These are not like green onion. I mean, they're just different. So we're going to plant these and we're going to see. So next year, I brought some down for them. They don't know it yet, but I'm going to give it to them. I got a couple of them so that we will have them forever. So hopefully they remain tender and good. There's a little more bulb to them than the green onion. So we'll see. We'll see how they work. And we'll see how their flavor is. They smell very, very potent, though, for sure. Big Will Dog. Has anyone ever considered Mars used to maybe be Earth long ago until society thought they knew so much about making things better? Yeah, I just laugh out loud when I hear people talk about we're going to terraform Mars and become an interplanetary species. Yeah, when you can't even keep from killing the one planet you do have. We're just destroying at an exponential rate all the natural resources and the system that recycles our waste, just clogging it all up and destroying it beyond belief. And I know because I've traveled all over the world. It's happening all over the world to an astonishing degree. So the people that think, yeah, we're going to terraform Mars, you can't even be a steward of this Earth that we have now. So what are you talking about going to some other planet? Mom computer. That's funny. Thank you. Yes. So candy roaster, I've heard a lot about that. Candy roaster is supposed to be great. Prodigal Gardener, beans and cucumber. Beans are a thing. Well, yeah, I made myself sick on them too. When I went 2 years, when I was vegetarian, boy, I was eating beans like every day. Beans and lentils and rices and legumes and peas and all that kind of stuff. But it was just so much fiber. Oh my goodness, my body just, and I thought, okay, well, it just needs to adjust. The gut microbiome just needs to adjust. So I was eating kimchi and all kinds of fermented foods. I mean, I was going crazy because I had to purify myself after a lifestyle that I was living in the mountains. And it just never really, 2 years later, I was still getting super bloated and just, and I felt full and all the time. I mean, full, uncomfortably bloated full, and was not having easy, regular eliminations and stuff. And so then my body just told me, you need some beef liver, some raw beef liver. And I just got this overwhelming craving for raw beef liver for some reason. And so I listened to it. I said, okay, well, raw beef liver with some maple syrup. I started eating that, and it was just my body just all the systems came back online. It was and it felt we're back online. And suddenly, there was circles around my eyes and stuff from those 2 years of being vegetarian, and it was I was subcutaneous fat. Was the lines are real hard in your face and stuff, and real thin. And so I just went way the other way and started eating tons of red meat and beef liver and raw milk and eggs, and laid off the beans big time. And so I'm just eating mostly potatoes It's mostly potatoes, sweet potatoes, leafy greens, cabbages, but meat with all the meals, definitely. And my system is so fine tuned now. It just is so easy. Everything's easy. I never feel bloated. I never feel the sickness. I never feel just like, oh, the eliminations are easy and regular and just, so for me, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. But I was obsessed for those 2 years because I know the power of plants. And I know that by observing nature, I know that the elephant is a vegetarian, and it's the strongest animal on earth. And the ox and the buffalo are all vegetarian. So everything you need can come from plants, was my thought process at the time. And plus, I love growing things. And so I was like, well, everything, I mean, the elephant, the gorilla, the silverback gorilla is strong, and healthy, and it's eating twigs and leaves and greens, So I thought, okay, well, we're the same. Now, I can't say for everybody, but for me, for those 2 years, that was not it for me. That was not the way. It was great, but my system needs the meat for sure. And so that's just what I realized. That's what I came to the understanding. So not one extreme or the other, but definitely just too much fiber. You can have too much fiber. Definitely. Yes, Prodigal Gardener says, our gut microbiome is very much like the soil biome. We add what we lack. Yes, definitely. That's when I deep dived into all that research and learning about all of the gut microbiome and all of this stuff. And that's the answer. The gut microbiome is the answer. Definitely. The little kids are trying to come in here, but the family's like, no, he's doing the live stream. It's funny. Dorothy Fu, yes. See, she says, but internally, we are built differently from those of cows and horses. Yes, and this is what I came to realize over the years, is that just because these animals can get everything they need from these plants doesn't mean that we can. It doesn't work like that, So that's the thing. Like when you start observing and sort of following nature and things, you learn, but you have an initial realization, but then your realizations deepen over time, and you understand the wonderful complexity of things. And so, or you don't understand it, but you see it, and you observe the unimaginable complexity. And so, yes, we are built differently. We can't process the same things. And so I still eat plant-based. I just let the cow, Jerry's cows, the really consciously raised, delicious, wonderful beef, I let them process the plants first, and then I eat. So it's plant-based meat in many ways, which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. It all comes from the plants. And so, yes, but I still don't eat like industrial raised hormones, slaughter, factory farmed kind of thing. If you guys could go to Jerry Bates' farm watch the video I made. If you could be there, you could see how happy those cows are. I mean, they're just out in huge, luscious fields as far as you can see, and Jerry's just out there just switching up the pasture every couple days, and they just come in there and just start mowing down on the tops of just the prime parts of the plant. And Jerry's planting different cover crops for them and got a shade machine for them. I mean, they're pampered as far as cows go, and they got all the land they could possibly want. That's the kind of beef I'm talking about, So, yes, the Lisa T says, I need meat and animal fat to build and maintain muscle, bone, healthy skin, to build all cells of my body. I know. See, and so I come to understand all of this through understanding why because I thought eating meats and stuff was making me feel toxic and ill. But so I eliminated all the meats, and I was like, man, but I'm feeling actually more lethargic, and I was having to drink coffee and tea more, because it just wasn't feeling right. And that's what led me into the understanding and to researching all of this stuff. I already had been over the years, but not to that level. Once I began to understand that what's in animal fat is also what is in our brain, the types of saturated fats and cholesterols. We need this. And it's a precursor to hormones such as testosterone, and all kinds of good things require fats and cholesterols, especially the kinds from animal sources. Yes, it's true. It's true. Now, that being said, I do want to say that I have met cultures that are almost entirely vegetarian that are thriving, definitely, but that's them, that's their culture. It's a different thing, Yes, the prodigal gardener. B12 is a vitamin we get most from meat. B12 is so important for our central nervous system. Yes, definitely. Especially beef liver is such a good source of all of that. And when I eat that, bam, boom, I'm good. You only need to eat it once or twice a week. Definitely. Oh, Brian A. Reese says, hey, Big Will Dog has started a YouTube channel. Show him some garden love from the tribe. Oh, what's the name of it, Big Will Dog? Is that what that email's about? Probably. I'll check it out. What's the name of your channel and where can we find it? Is that the channel? Big Will Dog in the Soil. Oh, you changed it. Okay. Is that the channel? Praveen, you don't make fertilizers anymore? Oh, I definitely make fertilizers. I mean, definitely. Although it's different. It's different in different places. So some people, I still help them to make JDOM style ferments. Some people want to purchase dry ferments because it's much more convenient and easy. Or they have a business to where that's just a business expense. But also, the ones I make myself that I really rely on, number one is the fish fertilizer. I make primarily the FAA, the fish amino acids with the brown sugar. That's the best of them all. But also sometimes fish hydrolysate. And so those are the primary. But then the labs, I make the labs all the time and feed it to the plants and the soil. I make the water-soluble calcium all the time because the plants love that stuff. So yes, I still do. Definitely. Country living. Okay. Is there a way to make beef liver taste good? Sorry, don't like the taste. Okay. Well, it's still mostly frozen, and I'll eat like a half pound at a time. And I'll do that like once a week, maybe twice a week at the most. Because there's like 3,000% of there's a enormous amount of vitamins and minerals in the beef liver. And so you can eat a half or start with like an eighth of a pound, just a little bit, cut it into small little cubes like that. Okay. While it's still mostly frozen, just enough to cut it up. It's much easier to cut when it's frozen. Okay. So cut it up into tiny little, small little dice like that, like diced potatoes, like that size, and put it into a bowl and pour the real deal maple syrup on top of it. All right. Just a couple tablespoons, and then you eat it like that. And you can just take a small sip of water and swallow it down immediately, like a pill, basically. You don't taste anything except sweetness. But you want to let it thaw out. You don't want to consume it while it's frozen. You want to let it thaw out completely and then consume it. Or you can chew it if you want, but there's no need to. So you can just take it, and it tastes like iron. It tastes good, like the earth. And with the maple syrup, oh, so good. No, Kelly Cornell. Chicken liver is not the same. Chicken liver is not the same. Look that up. Okay. I can't give you the specifics on it because I forget, but look it up. Definitely. Ooh, Tease Trees, put white truffle oil on the liver. I never tried. I'm not versed with truffle oil, but I would if I had some. Dave's Pharmacy, for the iron. Yes, for the iron, for the huge amount of vitamin A, all the B vitamins that you need. It's all there in the beef liver. Definitely. So now remember, I never advocate for one or the other. It's not like carnivore or vegan. It's not what. It's a good combination of both. Eat the beef liver, eat the raw, or eat the red meat. Consciously raised red meat. That's just goes without saying. Some chicken, yes, can be good, definitely, especially if you're raising it. Eat tons of eggs, but also you're eating the leafy greens, nice shijimisa, collard greens. You're also eating potatoes, homegrown potatoes, rich in minerals. Most people think that potatoes are like a fattening, toxic food, but that's not true. It's because of how we prepare them. We fry them in seed oils and call them French fries, and we make them into chips and all kinds of stuff like that. No, look it up. All right, a proper potato is filled with vitamins and minerals and nutrients, and fiber and proteins and carbohydrates. It's very, very good for you. So you can make that one of your primary sources of carbohydrates, like I do. It used to be rice a lot more than it is, but um, rice really, I mean, sometimes I still do that when I want something really light and easy to digest. I'll have like a stir-fried beef with vegetables and some rice. I do that quite a bit, but other than that, potatoes are a wonderful carbohydrate source because of all the minerals that they give to you. So yes, that's how we do it. Yeah. Definitely, yeah, eat the skin to get those nutrients. Although, even if you skin them, there is still many of the nutrients. So don't let that put you off to it. But yes, eating the skins will give you the most. Now, in particular, if you grow fingerling potatoes, pretty much all the fingerling potatoes don't need skin. The skins are so thin that you just eat them as they are. Yeah. Um, Yes, smashed potatoes. Yeah, Wayne Caroli, smashed potatoes. Yeah, guys, didn't I tell you how we make those a while back? We take the potato whole, boil it just until it's fork tender, not super tender, but just till it's fork tender. Remove it from the boiling water, smash it like that, and then put it directly onto a hot griddle with lard on it. Lard or tallow, but lard is the best for these. And fry it a little bit, and then flip it over, fry it again, a little more lard, and then you can shred some cheese over it, or some green onions over it, and then put some raw cream over it, and then or some chives, and then some coarse sea salt. Super delicious, but let it get nice and black on the bottom. But you got to use super high heat when you're doing smashed potatoes. I found it's best to do high, medium high to high. So I do them outside because it gets the cast iron pan gets really smoking a lot. Yeah. Um, Ooh, I like that. Country living. Roasted homegrown baby potatoes with a little olive oil and salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, pinch of smoked paprika. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, you're making your own smoked paprika. Because if you guys aren't doing that yet, you need to. I can't even recommend enough how much that matters. The smoked paprika is like the cornerstone of my type of cooking, and it makes a world of difference. It's absolutely nothing like what you can get from the store. It's so good. So, yeah, Stephanie Stevens, I'm going to make potatoes now. Oh, yeah. And if you guys are making raw butter, or, taking cream and making your own butter, remember, butter is a superfood, real butter, or raw, real butter is a superfood. It's wonderful for you. And so you can add plenty of that to the potatoes, and some green onions, and just mash them up lightly. I have potatoes all the time, and they're super good for you. Yeah. Um, Yes. Okay. Rebecca Elborn, please explain paprika. Very simple. Okay. Now, there's a couple of ways to do it. Essentially, you just harvest the potatoes, or you just harvest the peppers and de-seed them. Take the seeds out. Otherwise, it will make it taste like paint. It makes it taste really old after just a short amount of time. Take the seeds out, and then smoke it. You can use a charcoal smoker, or like a Traeger smoker. Smoke it for like 4 to 6 or 7 hours until the flavor of the fire is up in the skins of the peppers. Then take the peppers off. Make sure it's direct heat. You're not trying to cook them. You're not trying to char them. Just take them off and dehydrate them until they're bone dry. I think I made a video about this. Definitely on Instagram, I did. And then you just powder up the ones that you need. That's it. That's all there is to it. Now, there is intricacies of this process. For example, you can just take all the leftover peppers that you have and smoke them and turn them into paprika. Okay. I would recommend separating the spicy ones from the sweet ones, though, so that you can use spicy sometimes and just sweet smoked paprika other times. You can just do all the different peppers all together, and that works great. I've done that several times. But I found over the years some peppers are much better than others at making paprika. And for sure, the best sweet paprika, or the best just regular neutral smoked paprika, is the Ivarsky pepper, the Macedonian roasting pepper. It's meant, this is what they bred this pepper, is for grinding into paprikas. And the flesh is really thick. Not only that, but it holds on to the smoke flavor better than any of the other peppers, even better than the poblano. I was using the poblano for several years, and it's really good as well. But the Ivarsky dwarfs all of that because of it's bred for that purpose. And so it tastes like, the flesh tastes buttery as well as smoked. So it adds like a buttery smokedness to the dish. So it's just incredible. Okay. That's how you do it. Wayne Carilli says, by the way, potatoes, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Maybe that's a statement for yourself, meaning you'll have them all the time. But if you're asking if that was a question, then I only have potatoes in dinner, because I pretty much only have dinner. I mean, I will have a shake, the Viking Virility shake with the 5 raw eggs and the raw milk and all that and the cream. I'll have that at about noon or 1 o'clock. But then just have a massive dinner, and that's all I eat for the day. In the morning, it's just coffee. And then I don't eat until the shake at noon or 1, and then nothing else until about 7:30. I eat later than most people would, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Yeah. And for me, that works perfect. Okay. You'll hear all kinds of people, well, you don't want to eat before bed, and you don't want to eat so many hours before bed and all that, and yada, yada. That's for them. I've experimented big time over the years, and I know. I mean, I went a period of time where I was just eating the heaviest meal of the day was lunch, and then basically didn't eat dinner. I tried to change the eating window, and I just didn't sleep well. I can't, if I'm even the slightest bit hungry, I can't sleep deeply, because I just got to get up and eat something. So for me, it just didn't work. And so it took a little while to be able to eat and go and sleep, but now it just feels super natural. I mean, it feels wonderfully natural. My body digests everything, by the morning time, everything is digested. It's all fine. I sleep deep, so for me, massive dinner, and then pretty much nothing else solid in the stomach until dinner again the next day. Shooting the Soil says, have a favorite wood for the smoking. Now, oak and hickory will give you the strongest flavors. Hickory will give you the strongest flavor of smoke, but you can almost overdo the hickory. But the oak, I red oak. I ran into a thing of, my uncle gave me some red oak, and I'm talking rounds. I'm not talking about wood chips. And that turns out to be some of the best. I mean, really. But oak or hickory, I do them both. So really good. Now you can use whatever kind, but I've experimented with like apple wood, mesquite wood chips, over the years, and just don't like them. I don't feel it's smoky enough. It's not like because the way I'm using it, if you smoke meats or something, okay, that's one thing. But if you're just using a half a teaspoon at a time, you need that smoke flavor to be in your face, and hickory will do that. So will oak. Mm-hmm. Sylvia says, would it be too much trouble to ask you to make a list of veggie and greens, potatoes that you use? Yeah. What do you mean? I mean, I'll happily do that for you guys. But what do you mean? It's like things that I grow. If you watch any of the videos that I make, like this one I made a few weeks ago about best and worst of 2024, it shows you what, I experiment around. But it's the categories, the meat, and then the starch, which is potatoes and sweet potatoes, and also squash sometimes, and then the greens. Yeah. So like during the wintertime, we're going to be eating more beef liver and I can't eat more meat. I eat it every day, but there will be the storage crops, the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, sometimes cornmeal, the beans. We'll have a dozen meals over the winter of beans that we've grown. I sprout them first, of course, before we and the rattlesnake beans are pretty much the best all-purpose for that. So we sprout them first, and then I'll have a dozen meals of beans over the winter time, but I don't overdo it. But then I'm still going to be growing microgreens in the basement. Sunflower microgreens will be growing again. We've been doing it for several years now. Also, a couple cabbage microgreens, a couple broccoli microgreens, but mostly sunflower microgreens because they're just amazing and versatile. But then along with that, we will be doing wheatgrass. So we'll be growing the wheatgrass and juicing it. Juicing the wheatgrass is on a whole different level. Guys, it's worth doing. If you've never done any other kind of juicing, it's worth getting one of those. Even if you don't have a juicer, it's worth getting one of those hand crank wheatgrass juicers for like $30 that you screw to like the side of a table. It's worth getting that so that you can grow the wheatgrass. And wheatgrass you only take in shots of like an ounce, 2 ounces, 4 ounces maximum, but it's potent. You will feel that stuff. It's liquid sunshine, literally. You will take a shot of wheatgrass on a dreary winter day and you will taste sunshine and summer, and you will immediately be recharged so you can go into the ice bath and then the sauna, all these wonderful practices. So, country living, what's in your shake? Well, it changes sometimes, but the past several months, it has been consistent. So it is 2 cups of raw milk and then 2 cups of either cherries, frozen cherries, or frozen blueberries. Okay. And then a handful of raw pumpkin seeds, about 4 tablespoons of hemp hearts. Okay. Very high in all the vitamins and minerals and zinc. The pumpkin seeds high in zinc. Okay. Which is hard to get from a lot of sources if you're not close to the ocean, but it's crucial for the functioning of the body. And then raw honey and some molasses. And then I will blend that all up. And then I will add 3 tablespoons of raw cacao, and then some goat weed, and then some ginseng, and then some ginkgo, and then some maca root. Okay, I got them all right there. It's not as complex as it sounds. I got it all ready. I make this whole thing in like 5 minutes. And you just put a scoop of that, scoop of that, scoop of that, put that, blend that all up. And then the very final thing is I crack 5 raw eggs, sometimes 6 if I did a kettlebell workout. 5 or 6 raw eggs into the thing. And then, but then after the eggs go in, you only do it on low because otherwise it'll turn real frothy. And so that is, and then I drink that. And that is just, wow, it gives me everything that I need. One of you guys, I think Sweeping Page, in the Viking Thrive in the Discord chat, did the breakdown, did the math of how much those shakes cost for one, but for 2, the nutrient content, which is pretty incredible. So that's what's in those shakes. Yeah. So yes. Okay. The Cody Lee says, "Hey Nate, just purchased 40 acres and have 5 acres pasture. Want to start fertilizing for next year. Going to raise beef and goats, chicken, etc. Any liquid fertilizer you recommend?" Man, that is awesome. Congratulations. So, that's a big question. I mean, that's a big question. What has been done on the land? So the 5 acres of pasture, what is it? Is it just like wild weeds and stuff, or is it alfalfa, or is it, is it different types of grasses? Has it been consciously put there, or what? Is it, there's big questions, a lot of things you would need to think of to really do it right. But, and then how are you going to spread across 5 acres is a considerable amount. How are you going to spread this stuff? Yeah. If you watch the video that I made about Jerry's beef farming, where he does the grass-fed beef, then you will see pretty much what I would recommend, the ideal setup. Big in IBC totes, aerated compost tea, and apply that. I mean, that's going to get the biology happening. That's going to get the food for the microbes happening. That's going to get some nutrients happening, definitely, but it's not going to be like a nutrient hit, like a fertilizer would, but it's going to help it to become self-sustainable, sustaining itself. So it's going to get the microorganisms happening. I mean, that's the simplest thing. If you're asking for a liquid fertilizer, that's the thing. Yeah. Now, on top of that, though, it depends how you're able to apply this. You could take some of the manure and you can make a fermented manure. I would have to send you the recipe for this. You can make a fermented thing from the cow manure, which would be ideal. It will use some molasses. It will use some yogurt. It will use some yeast and stuff like this. But you let that ferment over the winter. And you will put an airlock on it. Now, that is something that you can make and then apply. If you made the aerated compost teas, then you could add a certain amount of that at the very end of the brewing. So you'd make the aerated compost tea, and then you'd have your barrels of the fermented manures. And you could take that, it'd be totally liquefied by that point, and pour it into there right before application. Now, that is going to really supercharge your stuff. Okay. That's really going to supercharge everything. So just shooting from the hip, that's what I would recommend. Yes. But if you've got like no infrastructure, then JDOM. Then just get some barrels and ferment some grass, ferment some of the manure just with leaf mold and water. It's the simplest, cheapest, and it's effective. Yes. Not as effective, not nearly as effective as what I just described, but it's effective and it's free and it's easy to do without the grid. So there's options. There's all kinds of options. Have you tried yerba mate? Man, I drink that stuff all the time. I found a good source. Dav says, hey, Nate, have any quick, easy Tahitian melon squash recipes? Much thanks and love. Guys, let Dav know, do you have any Tahitian squash recipes? Basically, butternut squash recipes. You can replace it is a butternut squash. It's just bigger and sweeter. And so any butternut squash recipe, Tahitian melon squash is the perfect substitute. It applies the exact same. Oh, Big West, you're sick? It says we have t-shirt weather, the perfect weekend to do final yard stuff, and I get sick. Of course. Yes, Look to Nature says plants have slightly different nutrient requirements from species to species. Why can't we be similar? We need to listen to our bodies. Absolutely. Yes. But the thing is that most people have lost the ability to listen to their body. One, because we're not taught to do that anymore. We're taught to, as soon as there's something you don't want to feel, take something for it. Take a pill or get a surgery, or you got to do something. We're not taught that, that is a feedback mechanism of the organism. Your headache is not telling you, I need to take a Tylenol. It's telling you, it's a feedback loop. It's saying, hey, you're dehydrated. Hey, our electrolyte balance is off. If you're getting cramps or if you're getting this or that, they're all feedback mechanisms. But we've become so trained to disregard those feedback mechanisms and to take something to make them go away that they compound on each other, and things go unhealed for so many years that then they become a big problem that you do need surgery or some kind of medicine for. But if we were just taught to listen to our body and to respect that, then we could heal so much more stuff. With the innate intelligence of the body. Use pain, use the little ailments, use the headache is very important. Use it as a feedback mechanism. What is off in your body? Yeah. So all these kind of things, and we listen to the body, but most people's ability, we haven't been trained, but also number two is that our taste buds and our bodies are thoroughly addicted. They've been hijacked by big pharma, big food, big ag, all of it. It's been totally hijacked to the people can't trust their taste anymore. because they get chemical cravings that they mistake for taste. So when you hear people say, well, I intuitively eat, I know what the body is telling me to feed itself. Now, when you hear me say that, you don't see that I went through years of a detoxification process from the chemical way of living. And so I've trained myself to listen to that. But if you haven't done that, then you're just going to be operating under chemical cravings, and you're going to mistake it for thinking, well, my body's just craving this double quarter pounder with cheese and French fries from McDonald's. It's just because that's what my body needs. It needs those nutrients. No, that's not the same thing at all. It's completely different. And this is the thing that we have to realize, so you have to go through a detoxification process. But once you do, then you can trust your salt palate. You can trust, because your body will tell you how much salt you need based upon how your food is tasting. If your taste buds are free, if they're enslaved by the chemicals, then forget about it. It's all short-circuited chemical dependency, which that's most people. Okay. But if they're free, then you can trust your salt palate and say, well, no, I need a lot more salt this time because it just doesn't taste right. The body's telling you, hey, we need more, or not so much. If it tastes really salty, you're like, oh, last time that didn't taste so salty. You needed to back off, So those are all things. Yes. Oh, yeah. AK Froggy says, my body's just craving that gallon of Haagen-Dazs. Right, exactly. So see, it needs those Rocky Road nutrients. Exactly. It needs the vitamins from the Rocky Road. Yeah. So, yes, so Darth X says, I heard beef liver. Does anyone like beef heart? Sometimes, yes. You have to eat it sparingly, though, because it's really kind of spongy. And so I will take the beef heart and slice it thin and just sear it real briefly, ultra high heat, sear it real briefly, and have it with like sauteed onions, sprinkle some thyme in there, some red wine vinegar, and a little dash of maple syrup. Let that all get in there with them onions and garlic. Yeah. And then quickly saute the beef heart and just spoon the onions and everything over those little slabs of beef heart and eat them like that. It's delicious. Really good for you, of course. And you can just feel that when you eat that. Once you become accustomed to living that way, when you are eating that stuff, then you'll know, oh, wow, that feels like the right thing to do. But don't overdo it. Don't make yourself sick on beef heart, because you won't be eating it again if you do. It's a real spongy. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Ooh, Patricia, as a child, we would eat heart as a roast. I've never tried roasting it. I would like to. Do you have a recipe for that? I've never tried roasting it. I wonder if it would make it more tender and less spongy. Yes, exactly. Linda Rogers says, I crave beef liver every time my iron is low or platelets are at the low end. Not the raw stuff like you do. Yeah, and it's totally fine. If you guys don't want to eat raw beef liver, that's not really a problem. It's just that's what I choose to do because I feel that it's more bioavailable. The body feels better. And I can't, once it's cooked, it's disgusting to me because it turns like a powdery kind of, I don't eat it like that. But raw, the body's like, yes, this is the way for you. This is the way. Yes. Okay, this is what I was wanting to know. Okay, Lisa T says, grind beef heart into soup, stews, ground beef dishes. We do 1 to 3 tablespoons in a pound. Can add liver this way too. Okay, so you do 1 to 3 tablespoons of, do you grind the beef heart separate? Because I've got a beef grinder and I've got beef heart, plenty. So do you grind the beef heart separate and then you add just a bit of that in with the ground beef? Is that what I'm hearing? So Fabrizio says, my shakes, sea moss, cacao powder, kefir, blueberry, banana, quail eggs. Nice. Sounds wonderful. That is, yeah, that sounds wonderful. The cacao powder is just great. So yeah, Lisa T, let us know, because that is yes, exactly, Mom Computer. Once you cleanse your palate by eliminating garbage, processed food, then you will know instinctively what your body needs. Exactly, yes. Most people don't realize that we have one of the most sophisticated nutrient analyzing uh, instruments that there are. The human taste is magnificent. And so it will tell you what you need, and it will tell you the nutrient content of the food, and you can trust that. The flavor is a direct correlation with the nutrient and the life force that is in the food. Yeah. And so that's why hydroponically grown stuff tends to have no flavor. Greenhouse and commercially grown things tend to have no flavor because there's no minerals in them. And the apples don't taste so much like they did back in the day because the soils are depleted. All of this, it's a lack of real nutrients and biological activity that create those nutrients. Jeff Sadler, I have been eating from my garden almost every meal all summer. Yesterday, I had a takeaway with friends from out of town. Today, I spent the whole day sweating and feeling so sluggish. Lesson learned. Yeah, that's the thing as well. Once you begin eating clean like that and you've broke free from the chemicals, when you do eat that kind of stuff, you know, a chicken bacon ranch pizza and all that stuff, oh my goodness, you just feel sluggish and tired, and your body feels, because it sends the inflammation response. It sends like, hey, these are toxins. We're being poisoned and stuff. We're being attacked. And so it can be terrible. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, to the people that just eat like that all the time, they just get accustomed to feeling lethargic and sort of dull and sort of tired. They don't even know about the crystal clarity that is available to them if they would become conscious. But they just instead, it just tastes good. So we're just going to keep eating this pizza and donuts. So it just tastes good, you know? So, well, okay. Then you're going to keep feeling lethargic and tired, and you're going to get ill, and you're going to get sick all the time. And it's going to take you forever to recover from sickness. So there we go, Patricia. This is what AI cannot replace. I totally agree. This, yes, I agree. We got all kinds of work we're going to be doing here real soon. You know those coal mine conveyor belts that we had to haul? If you guys have seen us from several years ago, we're hauling them again. One more time. I mean, really heavy. But fortunately, these boys are getting older now. 14, maybe. I think they might be that old. You know, they're starting to like develop. So they're good workers, incredible work ethic, these young boys. And so they're out there in the sun just pulling these things. So it's pretty awesome. So we're going to put down wood chips in the aisleways instead. So if you guys watch my the last video or one of the videos I made about bed styles, and then you saw pictures and you saw some of us constructing this in the springtime. We're going to remove those coal mine conveyor belts and add wood chips instead. We got a couple of huge drops of wood chips there. So yes. Let's see. Signal loss must not be over 50. The shake without goatweed and ginseng. What are you talking about? Must not be over $50 or years old. So I'm still looking for the response from Lisa. I want to see more about Sylvia. No. Does beef heart taste similar to liver? No, they taste very totally different. But I'm telling you, the liver, if you eat it in the way I'm telling you, it just tastes like maple syrup. You don't taste anything. It tastes like maple syrup and iron. And it tastes like health. Yes, AK Froggy. Historically, people just ate what was available seasonally, and that was what was needed. Exactly. And that's also why a lot of people are under the illusion, and by supplement companies and stuff, that you need every single vitamin and mineral every single day. So if you're not getting every single thing, you need to be supplementing with all kinds of stuff. But the human body was meant to, yes, eat with the seasons. So we do have the capability to store a lot of vitamins and minerals for times when we don't need them. So that's why we can eat something like raw beef liver once a week, or even every other week. We eat a half pound of it, several thousand percent of the recommended daily value of all kinds of vitamins and minerals. Now, am I worried about toxicity of any kind? No. Am I worried about toxicity of any kind? No. But I am, fireworks, see? But I am confident that the body can store the minerals that it needs and use it as it needs it. I'm not eating that every day, of course, but yes, we just, and when a certain type of tree is in season and ripens, you gorge yourself on that. When the leafy greens are here in the summertime, you gorge yourself on that. But in the fall and the winter time, it's the storage crops, the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the beans, the peas, the dried peas and stuff. The meat is historically was what was always available. Year round. There's not really a season to the meat, especially once we started domesticating things. So yes. Oh yeah, VA Green says I'm going to use the coal mine conveyor belts to wrap my 100-gallon pots. That stuff's everywhere around here. Oh, is it? Well, one thing I can say is it is astonishingly heavy and very dead weight. So wow, it's very heavy. But nothing grows up. Nothing's growing up, and it will last pretty much forever. Yeah. It's just one of their issues is that it's so hot here in Chattanooga area. The blazing sun in the middle of the day, it's not hot. It's not a concern about the roots. It's a concern about being out there, and it's just like cooks you, and so it's just not as pleasant. And when it rains, it doesn't get the water pools up, and turns algae and stuff. So the wood chips are going to be much better. They really are. Megan McGuire says, Nate, do you forage ever? Occasionally for mushrooms, like chicken of the woods and things, and chanterelles and morels. Yes. In the right time, twice a year or 2 seasons of the year, we'll forage for that. But anything else, not so much, because at least where we're at, it's farmland. And so everything that has been, every available inch has just been wiped out to make way for farmland, corn, wheat, and soybeans. That's it. And so, no, I really don't. I really don't, because I purposely grow everything that I need where I'm at, real high intensity. Mm-hmm. Oh, country living. I don't know. If I freeze dry the beef liver and powder it, can I use it in soups or stews to get the nutrients? Now I'm sure that's what, there's like ancestral supplements, and they have basically freeze dry beef liver, powder it, and encapsulate it. That's all they do. So I'm sure you could do that. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Marcus Wade, chanterelles are my favorite, but we didn't get enough rain this year, sadly. Yeah, neither did we. 8 to 10 weeks of none of that. Yep. Big Will Dog says, Nate, on your way back north, if you need a pit stop, my home is open to you, brother. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. We are not going through Indy, though. We're going to be taking 75 all the way, basically, to Wapakoneta and then over. Okay, Lisa T says, I just grind the beef heart, freeze in small portions, and add to favorite dishes. Don't really have a recipe, but add a few tablespoons heart per pound of muscle meat. Okay, good. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Andre says, I listened to the podcast on the Rogan, the Callie and Casey Means. They're totally right, and I understood the point, but man, they talk crazy fast, so it was difficult for me to follow. Yes, I'm sure. Are you native English speaker? Just judging by your name, it doesn't sound like it, but maybe. But yeah, they talk really fast. but they got something they want to say, and they got that platform, so they want to make it. They want to, yes. Brian Aries says, Nate, are we going to have Thrive on Monday? I don't know yet. That's our last day here, probably, actually. Yeah, I think we should have Thrive. I just like to carry on with the continuation, and we all get to touch base on Monday and stuff, so probably, yes. We're going to do Thrive on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we got 5 more minutes, guys. If you guys got any burning questions, let me know. Yes, Mary Cunningham, all the leaves on my giant red maple have brown spots. Are they okay for compost? That has been very, very common this year because the lack of rain and the bizarre weather and stuff. So a lot of the trees do have like black fungal growth on them, but just put it in there. Just put it in there. Compost them. If in doubt, hot compost. Hot compost can be a very good thing. It's a lot more work, but hot compost can be a great thing, especially if you're trying to kill the weed seeds and keep out the rats. And there's pros and cons to all of it. Next season, I'll be making a couple of good hot composting videos because this season I was doing it, getting all the footage. But next season I will make a couple, definitely. Okay, that's what I thought. Andre says, no, I'm from Serbia, so English is my second language. Yeah, I can only imagine then, because they're going fast. It's hard for me to understand them sometimes. So yeah, but good job even being able to listen to it at all. That's great. I can't do that with any other language. Yes, I remember that, Lisa. Says, Nate, can you do another classic Crabtree Farms in Chattanooga? I came to your last one and it was great. Yes, it was. That was awesome. We did a J. Dom seminar the last time that I was in Chattanooga. But yes, let's set it up. I haven't heard from Nancy in a while, but if she's still here, we can set it up, definitely. We'll do it in the early spring. And I'll bring I can make a PowerPoint presentation, so what would we like to focus on? Because I'll be coming back here in the spring for this. So what would we like to focus on? Yeah, during the presentation. We definitely can do that. Yep. And if we do that, I would like you guys, if you're anywhere in the area, I would like you to come. Definitely. So we can meet. Yeah. It's just super cool. So because we met with VA Green, for example, he was there, and just putting a face to it just changes the whole dynamic. Now I feel like, oh yeah, I know him. I feel like I know all of you guys in a way, not like you know me, of course, but to be able to put a face and an energy and a handshake with it is great. Yeah. Say, oh, now I feel like, oh yeah, I know him, my friend. So, let's see here. Okay. Yes. Mark, Urban Gardener. I made a comment about that earlier in the chat. So guys, yes. November 3rd at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. So we will make sure that this happens. So I'm going to promote that definitely. And yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you. Donald Hughes says, can I put grass fertilizer on my sweet potato bed this winter? Yes, you can. Whatever you do, just keep it covered. Keep it covered. If you could put a little bit of manure, if you don't have that, or you just leaves. Sweet potatoes can grow really good in just leaf mold. So just put leaves, deciduous leaves, and that will work just fine. Andre says, Nate, is there a difference between cattle molasses and regular organic molasses? There is. Typically, the cattle molasses will be sulfured to keep it from spoiling and stuff. So there will be sulfur in it. And there will be other chemicals in it. So that we don't really want, because that will keep the microorganisms from growing. So we use the regular organic molasses because it's food for microbes. The cattle molasses can have the sulfur dioxide in it to inhibit the growth of spoilage microorganisms. So you really always want to use organic molasses for everything, really. Unless you got cattle that you're trying to feed that type of molasses to. But I only use organic molasses. Yes. Yes. And molasses is wonderfully rich in nutrients, guys. I mean, it dwarfs maple syrup. It is super rich. The sugar cane is a very efficient plant at ripping nutrients out of the earth. I mean, it is really concentrated in nutrients. Okay, Lisa Brown says that would be amazing. I would focus on fertilizing, seed starting at home, etc. I can come up with a lot more for you to talk about. Yes, we'll probably need that. You know, we'll need to formulate it, and then I'll contact the lady there. And yeah, we can easily make that happen. So, okay, guys, it is time for me to get to work. All right, everyone's waiting on me. So we're going to get started, all right? Hopefully we're going to have some yerba mate first. So I got to get that water boiling. So thank you guys very much for being here, and we will see you next week at this time. I forgot to put any tickers on here, but I forgot. So we will see you next week at the same time. And if you guys remember, the walking onions are sold out, okay? But if you did already pay, let me know if you've paid already and you haven't got them. Okay. Just let me know. I don't think that's anybody though. Maybe that one person. And we will see the Thrive Tribe Monday morning at 10:30 a.m., probably right from right here. And we'll see what we're going to talk about. Let me know what you guys want to talk about at that time. We'll do the meditation. We'll do all the good stuff. So everybody have a great rest of the weekend. And thank you very much for being here. Remember to do all your shopping on Amazon through the link in the description. Doesn't even matter if you buy anything in the storefront. Just get into Amazon through that link. And in that browser session, whatever you get, we will get the credit for it. I appreciate that. Yes. And thank you very much to everyone that has become the members. Okay. We got a nice, strong group of members. So that's really encouraging. Thank you.